Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Album Corner. Jason here again, and today I'll be reviewing Buckcherry's 15. This album was released on April 6th of 2006. That was in North America. This is their third studio album. Alright, so this is honestly one of my favorite albums that Buckcherry has made. Yeah, that's okay. Some background information on Buckcherry. They formed in Los Angeles Los Angeles, California in 1995. They released two albums entitled Buckcherry in 1999 and Time Bomb in 2001 before disbanding. Tensions got to them, whatever, and they disbanded in the summer of 2002. In 2005, singer Josh Todd, who's well known in the music industry now, and lead guitarist Keith Nelson reformed Buckcherry under a new lineup, and that's how we know them today. They've done some big fest since they've reunited in 2005. They did Motley Crue's Crew Fest in 2008 that featured Papa Roach and 6 a.m. Most notably, and there was also a Crew Fest DVD with that also. So their albums with the new lineup, besides 15, include Black Butterfly, which I really like, All Night Long, and Confessions, which the jury's still out on that album. Alright, some album background. This album is considered to be one of the best album by Buckcherry. It has been certified platinum with 1 million copies, which is amazing. You know, you never would think you would ever see that. Now it is kind of routine, but that outsold their debut album by about 35,000 copies, which is amazing. This also became the first Buckcherry album to reach the top 40, peaking at number 39 when it came out. Alright, the singles off this album include Crazy Bitch, Next to You, and Sorry, which are three of my favorite songs here. There's a Japanese version of this album. It was released on October 5th of 2005. It features two bonus tracks that's not available on the U.S. version, unfortunately. It's Back in the Day and Pump It Up. And Pump It Up is used for the Edmonton Oilers as the NHL hockey team as their introduction song. The singles off this album are very interesting, very popular, and band's popular song. I don't even know how to describe it there. The first single here, of course, is Crazy Bitch. Most notably, that's their most notable song, I'd say. It hit the Billboard Hot 100 chart in the U.S., debuting at number 99 on May of 2006 and peaking at number 59, which is amazing. It's kind of a very blunt song. It received nominations for the Best Rock Performance at the 49th Annual Grammy Awards that year also, and it's covered by Phil Lewis of the LA Guns on their 2010 cover album Covered in Guns. That song is taking a mind of its own. It's an amazing song. It's really good. You gotta definitely hear that song. Alright, the second single here is Next to You. It peaked number 18 on the hot mainstream rock charts, which is amazing. It's an underrated song on the album for sure. One of the best, I'd say. And Sorry here is the fifth and final single off the album, released really late. Actually, I heard it in about 2008. It's amazing. It's the band's highest charting single to date in the U.S. on the Hot 100. Amazing acoustic song as well. I'll get to that a little bit later. Alright, my track review. There are 11 tracks here. The first track here is So Far. This song is a fast-paced song, similar to anything that you may hear on the band's debut album, Buckcherry. These two lineups really are very different, but it's something you would definitely hear. The song features some very catchy instrumentals, especially guitar work, almost a punk sound to them. The vocals just pull the listener into the album. Just amazing start. Alright, the second song here is Next to You. It's one of my favorites on the album. As I said before, it's very underrated. This song carries a very soft, kind of a swagger into it. With that, it doesn't really use a beat. The lyrics by Josh Todd are very aggressive, very catchy, and they carry themselves, is what I want to say here. I would say the lyrics are the best on the album. They contain some nice hooks. Classic Josh Todd fashion of being quick and yet aggressive and rough, I would say. Alright, the third song here is Out of Line. This song really starts off with some really groovy, some really interesting voice box effects, maybe some bass to it as well. similar to something Bon Jovi would do back in the late '80s. It's really, really interesting. Nice tone for the album there. That's what that sets. It really the tempo is slow to begin with, but it starts off really, really fast. It's some aggressive vocals, some instrumental work, led by some awesome guitar work and some drums as well. I would say the Buckcherry, and I've heard this a lot online, sounds a lot like a young AC/DC, a young Bon Scott in this song. I would agree. Josh Todd is an amazing vocalist, and he sounds amazing here. The fourth track on this album is Everything. This song has taken on a mind of its own, honestly, for me. It's one of my favorite off this album. It just opens with some very interesting U2-ish vocals, some ringing guitars, that continue really throughout the song and create a sense of some modern mellowness, I want to say. Not that the song is laid back at all, it's very in your face, very aggressive, but it's just unexplainable, I would say. It's got some awesome instrumental work. Josh Todd is amazing. You just gotta hear the song to see what I'm talking about, and it's a lot on this album is what you gotta hear. You gotta hear this entire album to kind of get what I'm talking about, though. Alright, the fifth song here is Carousel. I really like this song as well. It's a very underrated song. A lot of these songs are as well. It's a mellower, slower song. It opens with some nice guitar work that flows really throughout the whole song. The song is extremely catchy, especially vocally during the chorus. It's just some nice background vocals, something we don't hear from Josh Todd, especially in this album. Maybe in later albums they do, I'm not necessarily sure. They caught my attention and really brought me into the song. I would say that after one listen, you will be singing to the song. It's that catchy, very, very good song. The sixth song here is Sorry. I remember back when I heard this in 2008, like I said before, being kind of hesitant when I heard this song because I knew that it was acoustic. Not necessarily acoustic is a bad thing. It's a ballad. But after hearing it a whole bunch of times, it's Buckcherry's first ballady song. It really caught my attention. One of my favorite Buckcherry songs ever now. Like I said, I fell in love with it. It features a slow-paced instrumental work and some soft-spoken, heartfelt vocals that we rarely hear from Josh Todd. He expresses his emotion and his sorrow really for his wife and his love after some rough times in the relationship. They were bound to get divorced. I don't know if they did. Maybe they did it for a little while. But yeah, it's just a heartfelt song. One of my favorites off this album. One of the best songs that Buckcherry's ever done. After all. Alright, seventh song here is the iconic Crazy Bitch. It's the first song that I ever heard from Buckcherry a while back when this album first came out. Honestly, I knew that when I heard the song, this band was going to be something big, and they have not disappointed me yet, really. The song is everything you expect from a Buckcherry song. If you're a fan of the band, it's a loud, aggressive, just a plain badass song, I'd say. The lyrics are really, really blunt. It's really funny. A lot of this song you would never hear in the radio. The song is basically, it's about the band's quest to be dirty. As I seen that online, I put that in here. The song is inspired actually by Paris Hilton and her use of a sex tape to basically rocket herself to stardom back in the 2006, 2007 range there. In the band's past, the deemed crazy bitches that they were with, and if you want to say, the naughty girls, whatever. It's a very, very good song. It's just the vocals, and really you don't even have to describe the vocals to just think that this song is awesome. Alright, the eighth song here is one of the most underrated songs, like I said before, Onset. It's a simple, fast-paced song, almost a song like you would hear off a Time Bomb, their 2001 album, like I said before. It's got some extremely catchy vocals and some awesome, awesome guitar work. Our ninth song here is Sunshine. I was actually listening to this song a little while ago. It's a very, again, underrated song. Time bomb-ish. Fast-paced, not as much as Onset, though. It's kind of a punky sound to it, maybe a little bit with the guitar. It's got some awesome guitar work as well. There's some awesome solos. The vocals are very nice. They somehow sound a little bit different. It's kind of got a little bit of a fresh vibe to it, a little bit of a carefree vibe to it. I really, really like that. But yeah, one of the most underrated songs on this album. Alright, the 10th song here is Brooklyn. It's the bluesiest song on this album. It's in true blues form. There's a lot of a slide guitar, which you wouldn't necessarily think of from Buckcherry. They've got, some southern roots, obviously, a little bit. It's kind of a country blues, hard rock-esque, if that makes any sense whatsoever. It's a very good song, very underrated song. This whole album is just perfect, I would say. Alright, the 11th song here, finally, is Broken Glass. It's something that you would definitely want to hear from Buckcherry again. It's a hard rock song. It doesn't cross into metal territory, though. It just stays rock. It's something to put the audience, in my case, me, and, people listening to this song, into a frenzy, and not knowing what to expect, not knowing what to think after hearing this song. It's a great way to really finish the album. Alright, my positives from this album, I'll start with that first. I really like this album. Just the instrumental work is just perfect. The vocals, Josh Todd is one of my favorite vocalists ever, I'd say. He's just got a unique tone to his voice, aggressive, yet he can just do everything. Aggressive and be calming in one part, and just he goes from one song to another perfectly. The instrumentals on this album are, again, the guitar solos, the bass, the slide guitars, the drums are just perfect, I want to say. I honestly think the switch that they made in 2002, when they broke up, and then 2005 when they got back together. I think that's a perfect thing to do. I like their other two albums, but they just didn't have that same feel to it. Of course, on the album Buckcherry, they had Lit Up, and that's one of their iconic songs as well. But I think these albums are their best, and they will continue to grow. Overall, I like the fact that Buckcherry, especially in the song, Brooklyn here, I like how they use the blues inspired. I like how they kind of diversify themselves. I wish they would do more of this. On the last album, Confessions, that really kind of disappointed me. I will admit that. It's just nothing that stuck out. The song Gluttony really was the only thing, and I like the song Pride as well. But I don't know. There wasn't a spark to it. Buckcherry has really done a great job, especially from this album, building on their success. Their 2010 album was one of my favorites. Also, All Night Long, it's some good hits, some very songs you may not think about, being great songs, but they are. That's a lot of what Buckcherry is. If you're a fan, you definitely know that. As far as the downsides of this album, there's not really. I think, they did a nice job building off this album, and it's just a perfect all-around album, something you want to hear from this point, just an under-the-radar band. Of course, nowadays they're not. They are very mainstream, and a lot of people don't like that. And, mainstream bands get played a lot on the radio, and Buckcherry doesn't. They should, honestly, because they are very underrated as a band. They've toured with guys like, Motley Crue. They've been associated with Skid Row, of course, and they've been with Aerosmith as well a couple times, and were on tour with Jackal last year for the Full Throttle Fest here in Chicago as well. But yeah, I cannot stress how much I like Buckcherry, and this album especially proves that for me. Alright, I remember also when I heard they also did a song, I think it was in 2002 or something, the NASCAR Crank It Up CD, and they did, I think it was On the Road Again, and cover that song. It was amazing, and this is, if you get a chance to hear that song, definitely check that out. I can also put the link to that below. I'm sure I can find it online. That really showed me that Buckcherry was here to stay, and I think this album proves that. They've got a lot of hits to that as well. Alright, that's it for this review, guys. My overall rating for the song is a 9, or album is a 9 or a 9.5. I really, really, really enjoy the song. I can't stress that enough. Buckcherry is one of my favorite bands. This is one of their best albums, I'd say. If you guys agree, please let me know below. What is your favorite Buckcherry song? What is your favorite Buckcherry moment? I know they've kind of broken up and had some splits, and a lot of bands do that. It's not necessarily a bad thing, and I think this is definitely a good thing for the band. Okay, that's it for this review. Upcoming releases and reviews here are the Black Rail Motorcycle Club. I'll finally be getting that CD in from the local library here. I've also got some Aerosmith. I've got some Eric Church. My next review will probably be J. Cole after the Black Road Motorcycle Club. I also got some Toby Keith. I've got some Jukebox the Ghost that's coming up very, very soon. I'm kind of putting that off. I've got some Imagine Dragons, some Daft Punk, some Skillet as well. They got a new album out, and you got some Jimmy Eat World and some Black Sabbath. All new releases for those guys. So if you guys are interested in those, I got some also Leonard Skinner. I'll be doing with my friend Lance Moss TV next week. So if you're interested in any of those reviews, please subscribe. I put out new videos every week. I try to do diverse content as well. So if you have any suggestions for maybe a question you want me to do for a question and answer video, please shoot it out below. I'm looking for anything, really anything that involves my life, whether it be my major in school, whether it be music related, whether it be pop culture related, just anything, movie related, it does not matter. I will answer really anything as long as I deem it appropriate. So again, thank you guys for watching this episode of Album Review Corner. Please subscribe again if you like this. Have a nice day.